Today is the day I want to show people how I do websites because you know what, it's 2024. I don't know if people have actually checked the year, and there's a bunch of WordPress drama, and I was like, who's actually using WordPress in 2024? What kind of person does that professionally? That kind of blows my mind. So I think I'm just gonna show you my method, but I'm no designer. You know, there's plenty of other things you could use like Next.js, Node. There's just a ton, but I'm gonna show you the simplest. And you might be thinking, Titus, well, I just don't know. You know, WordPress scales, and we have this big thing, and I'm just gonna show you this right now because you need to know when it comes to traffic, when it comes to security, as someone that's pretty public and I get attacked a ton online, you know, whether it's social media attacks, whether it's DDoS attacks, I have a pretty savvy audience, I'd say. And it does happen. So having a very low attack surface is extremely important to me. And the exact opposite of a low attack surface is something called WordPress. WordPress is just absolute dog water, should never use. I think I switched off of WordPress like a decade ago. It just never enters my peripherals until like people online are talking about it. Like the guy that owns WordPress.org is like trying to, I don't even know what you call it, basically blackmail the people from WP Engine. And I'm like, geez, is there this much money in WordPress still? And I got to thinking, it kind of brought me back to another video where I made like AI is not coming for your jobs. And I'm like, you know what? I probably need to make like an asterisk next to that. Yeah, AI can totally replace every single WordPress developer out there, hands down. So if you're like one of those WordPress guys and like that's all you know, yeah, AI will replace you. So yeah, you know, I said AI is not replacing any jobs except WordPress jobs. They're coming for you guys. So learn something different. And we're going to do that on this stream instead of just talking about a bunch of nonsense. And if you need some like proof of WordPress, one, if you're an infrastructure person, I don't really have to spell it out for you because it's WordPress. If you've ever set up like a lamp stack in WordPress, you're like, yeah. This is so easy to exploit. But the actual implementation of WordPress is just so ridiculous because you have a ton of add-ons that never probably get updated. Some of them do. Honestly, when it comes to WP Engine, they're probably one of the best WordPress hosts out there. Most WordPress hosts are terrible. I've had, this has been probably 10 or 15 years, but I had to move most people off of WordPress because they got hacked. And sometimes it was the actual hosting provider. I remember specifically one hosting provider that they actually were compromised through a WordPress website. I've had businesses where they were compromised through just old outdated plugins that had like root access and crazy crap like that happens with WordPress. But anytime you're interfacing with a database and an admin portal like WP-admin after a website, you're just asking for it. You're just asking for it. The website we're building is actually a new channel I'm doing. But the channel doesn't matter. The website doesn't matter. We'll just walk through just a basic one for a static site. But I wanted to show kind of like how to modify, how you do most of the WordPressy stuff that people want to actually do. And we'll just set up that basic site. So anyways, yeah, you could read through this. I'm going to link this article. This is probably a decent article to just show you why WordPress is just utter crap. I like that actual title. I think that's a solid title because it is crap. Oh, I can't copy and paste it. Anyways, yeah. Let's see. Oh, you know, I'll just put it in Twitch chat. And I'll just manually do it. And it'll be fine. Here we go. I was like, I usually type it into the other one, but Hugo is what we will be using, Robin. You spoiled it. You spoiled it by guessing. This is what I use for my website. And you might be thinking, Titus, how much traffic do you get? A lot. And when I mean a lot, I get about 10 million requests per month every 30 days. This is a 7-day snapshot on Cloudflare. Data transfer, somewhere around 1 terabyte of data transfer per month. And page views, somewhere in the neighborhood of about 2 million page views, probably a little more than that, probably 2 to 3 million, depending on what's going on with the website. I haven't been developing too much lately, so probably around 2 million. So to say I know a little bit about websites, I do. I've used them, and I've used them professionally. I've set them up for people. I've contracted through different design companies. I've done a lot of different things. And no, this isn't a damn Squarespace ad, okay? If you're a small business, doesn't know shit, and you're just setting it up and you're a solo, sure, go use your $20 or $50 a month. How much is Squarespace cost now? I don't care. This ain't a Squarespace ad. I don't care about Squarespace, and if you're a business, you're not using Squarespace. I mean, it's just, if you got any substantial traffic, you're not using this crap YouTubers talk about online. Come on now. You guys know what I'm about to say. See, the audience here is already ahead of the game. You guys have already spoiled it for everybody. We're going to be using Hugo with Cloudflare pages. Well, why Cloudflare though? Well, one, it's free. You see all this? I don't actually have to pay for any of it. Now, I do pay for a pro plan for like $20 a month, but I don't have to. I ended up doing some like minification and some other stuff. I don't think it's worth it, but at the same time, I'm like, man, you do so much traffic through it anyways. Screw it. It's $20 a month. I don't care. So you don't have to do that. The free plan is pretty much unlimited. You could also use Netlify, which I did use, but Netlify starts charging after about 100 megs of traffic. Unless they've changed their rates. It's been a couple years. And it's fine if you're just a hobbyist or you're just setting up something that won't get much traffic, but Netlify scales like a turd because they will gouge you. They will bend you over the rails, and I'm not going to actually elaborate on that. I don't want to get demonetized, but let's just say it's not pretty if you do get a lot of traffic with Netlify. You'll see your favorite YouTuber making a video of how Netlify sent him $1,000 bill. Not that happened. So right now, Cloudflare Pages is probably the best in town. And what I am going to do is we're going to set up a whole one from scratch. It's going to be completely free, except you got to buy your domain. You don't have to buy a domain. You could use just like whatever it is, Cloudflare Pages, whatever their domain is. But come on now, let's set up a domain. The big thing was just go on your favorite registrar. It can be whatever you want to use. I'm not going to recommend you a registrar. I've used a ton of them in the past, and the only ones I like really hate is like GoDaddy. Don't use them. Try to stay away from those guys, but probably register.com's also awful. So's Network Solutions. Don't use them. 1&1's kind of crap too. Don't use them. Pretty much everybody else is fine. So yeah. so just to put it, you can use Cloudflare. I think that you can actually buy can you buy domains from Cloudflare now? I haven't done that before. I remember Google used to sell domains, and then they shut that all down. Yeah, I miss Google domains too. That was kind of nice. Yeah, Pork Bun and Cloudflare. Yeah, that's kind of a good one. I used to use Namecheap a bit, but they've they're kind of mid these days. So yeah, probably Pork Bun and Cloudflare is the recommendations from Chad. I agree with Chad on this one. So all right. So you buy your domain, you spend your $10, you get your domain for a year. You might get like a package deal. I know for ChrisTitus.com, I buy all my domains for if I use any like big traffic that's going to be on there. I like to buy in 10-year increments. So ChrisTitus.com should be registered till 2035 or something, because the last thing I want is to have something like that. How did I buy ChrisTitus.com? I squatted it sometime in 2000s. So I messed around. I have a really cool phone number too for my business where it's just a repeating number. I like to find ways to get really cool things without actually having to pay any money. And that was one where I was able to snake christitus.com from, I think at the time it was, people were trying to grab it because there was a comedian called Chris Titus that I think he's still around. And I think he was trying to get the domain too. And I ended up snaking it from him in the mid 2000s. So I think he has like ChristopherTitus.com now. Anywho. All right. So that's it. You buy your domain, cloudflare.com. Perfect. And then we're going to just come over to Cloudflare pages, and then we're going to connect to a Git repository. But first, we got to set that Git repository up. And you might be thinking, okay, Titus, what's up with GitHub and all this other stuff? The cool thing about what we're about to put in with Hugo is it's all static, which means there's zero attack surface. It means there is no database, which is fantastic. There is no admin portal to hack. There's not a whole bunch of loose crap out there that people are going to exploit. So when, people go on my website, I'm not trying to collect any information from you. And if, there's nothing to actually log into because it's all distributed through a CDN provided by Cloudflare pages. So no matter where you are on Earth, you're going to just connect to the latest Cloudflare server, whatever is that, and then boom, pull down my website in a static format, which is great because there's not a lot of dynamic elements. It also means I don't have to worry too much about different security vulnerabilities, but you also have speed. It's a lot faster than a lot of that WordPress crap. You know how WordPress used to tout that they were, was it optimized for search engines and stuff like that? That's all hogwash. It's just, that's all a lie. A lot of it is based on speed. And that's the big thing. Back in like the 2000s, there was some ways to cheese your results on like google.com. You could do like white lettering and some other shady tactics that some of the WordPress plugins employed, but not in 2024. Again, a lot of most webmasters of today are just really old people that never learned anything in the past 10 years. So here we go. We're going to create this database. So we'll just start off. Let's come into GitHub. We're going to create something new. Now, I did buy a domain called ageoftitus.com right here. Bam. Ageoftitus.com is my new domain. So we're going to create a website for that. Let's come in here. We're going to use Hugo. Now, if you haven't installed Hugo, you can do it through Linux, or you can do it in Windows too. Just a regular package manager install of Hugo. It can be installed in Mac, all of them. So very easy. So we're going to go Hugo, new site, Age of Titus. So we've done that, created the website. Move into this, you have this good layout. We'll do it in tree form just so you kind of see the layout of it. There's an archetype, an assets folder, a content folder, a data folder, an I-18 layout, static themes, and then the Hugo Tomo file. Now, the themes are basically what makes it look like that. The cool thing about Hugo is when you look at like the archetypes here. Now, there's not going to be much here, but let's go default archetype. You can specify all this in Markdown format. It sounds complicated. I know people are like, well, in WordPress, I just hit new post and then I'm presented with this thing. It's super slow and it's not very clean, where if you just take a little bit and learn, again, this requires learning, and this may not be super user-friendly like the handholding that's happening with WordPress, but if you learn it, man, your site's going to be so much better. No security issues, faster, better, just no hosting costs. No drama with the owner just becoming mentally unstable and starting to try and threaten a whole bunch of people. And you don't have to worry about hosts. All that. It just, boom. Just a little bit of learn. Also, Jekyll's good too. I think that's all good. But yeah, this is like a good draft. So you actually can set up a good way of doing it. So I've been using this for a while. So this is almost ready to go. We're going to just do a git init and we're going to initiate this. Oh gosh. I guess we'll do Name's chosen. Let's go main for the Git branch, I suppose. All right, and Git config. Well, I didn't set all this up prior to, my bad. All right. And did I fat finger that? I think we're fine. So we have that. The first thing I like to do is set up my git ignore file. So if we look at website over here, I'm going to pull this down. I probably have, no, I didn't have any changes. This is my website. So now that you saw like the default side of things, I want to show you the archetype default I have. This is how I set up my post. So when I go to create a post on my website, I'll have a little short. This is a little template right here that'll add a YouTube video at the very end of my post. So usually I make an article and then I make a video afterwards. So the video references that. And then this is like a good how-to article, because some people like just having the text. And if I'm talking about something more technical and you want to do copy paste, I usually like to do that. So this is like the format I typically do. And then I usually do a categories and like a tag. And these are like just default tags. And I usually just wipe out and go, okay, I'm going to be talking about Linux today. I just delete Windows and networking. And then I usually have like a more, for a tag, usually a more granular thing to put in here. So having said that, that is that. And if we look at the git ignore, what am I using for that? The one thing I wish Hugo did better was ignore certain directories. One, like the public directory, resources, logs. I don't think we need any node packages or these types of things. I don't know why. Maybe I had like some add-in that used Node.js or something, but I can't remember offhand. And then, yeah, like DS Store is like an Apple thing. If you're an Apple guy, probably that too. So let's copy git ignore. This is a fine template. And we're going to go back and toss that into Age of Titus. And let's just Z over to Age of Titus. All right. Clear this out. We have something to initiate. I'm just going to add git ignore. The reason why the big thing about git ignore that you need to add is the public directory, because when we go to build the website, that'll be there. Let's see. I guess I did not initialize this. I thought I did. Yeah, let's just use GUI interface, because I am sucking at that. Add local directory. Choose. Yeah. GitHub, Age of Titus. Open. Add a repo. Okay, so we have this. I'm just going to publish this repo. And we're going to just call this Age of Titus Gaming Channel. We're not going to, this is all going to be public. And we'll publish this. So this is published to GitHub. It's a whole new repo, just using the Hugo new site. All I've done is add like git ignore, haven't configured anything. Yeah, still using Cosmic DE. I'm about to switch back to DWM though. I think I was doing something today with Cosmic. Yes, I was making thumbnails for this stream on YouTube, and I couldn't drag and drop the pictures over, and I couldn't add bookmarks in their file finder. So that's kind of a deal breaker for me. It slows me down. So back to DWM I'll probably go for a time until the next Cosmic release. I like staying on these new alpha releases for like a week or two just to test them out. And I'd still need to do a video on Cosmic. Will you do an iPhone? You tell me. Oh, Merrick, thanks for tier 1. i3 for the win. You know, I like to bash i3. It's the big dog in the room, and it's fun to bash on i3. But i3 probably has the most sensible defaults out of any window manager out there. So if you don't really want to configure anything and you just want to like, hey, what's the default commands? i3 is not bad. But it's Linux, man. We're Linux users. We like to tinker. We like to change things. At least that's me. So yeah. Once you go into a different window manager and you see like how much you can change and do, it's really hard to go to just an i3. But sometimes ignorance is bliss, you know? The basic i3 config, if that works for you. I mean, it's still better than Windows and Mac. So, you know. Oh, yeah. Awesome Window Manager was actually my very first window manager. It wasn't even i3. I loved Awesome because of the theming. It was all made in Lua, and you could do a lot with it. All right. So we've added our repo. We've published our repo. It's public. Everything's on the GitHub. You can go on. Why does GitHub look weird? Is this github.com? What is that? Huh. That's weird. Something. Microsoft screwing up GitHub. It was only a matter of time. Anyways, you can see this public repo on GitHub. It's there. It's published. We're ready to go. Let's connect it up using Cloudflare pages. We're just going to say connect to Git. We have this, and let's add our repository. I want to say if your repository is on GitHub. So there is a Cloudflare Pages app on GitHub, apparently. Where are that? Alrighty, let's do this for a second. I gotta authenticate. Uno momento, por favor. From the authentication, I'm not showing anything bad, am I? Okay, we're good. From our authentication, we get presented with our Cloudflare workers and pages. And we're going to say age. Oh, come on. Age of Titus. Bam. And we'll save that out. Boom. And 1 second. Just don't want to give out my Cloudflare account. Very protective of it. And I'm going to just refresh this and we are good. All right. All right, cool. Here we go. So now we have that. We're going to select Age of Titus and say begin setup. What branch do we want to do? Please say DWM for life. We need a clip. DWM for life. It's the best ever. There you go. So we've got that. Framework default. I don't think we have to set anything here. There's all kinds of defaults you could choose. You could use Jekyll. You could use Svelte. I don't know. I'm not much of a front-end designer, guys. I'm more of just an infrastructure guy, so that didn't really do anything there. Probably kind of curious to see what build I've done and what I did for my other defaults. I'm going to leave all this blank. I think we'll be fine, but I want to say usually I pin the Hugo version. Depending on what you're doing, you can set specific environmental variables and say like Hugo version. You can set, there's times where I've had like a bad update on Hugo. Back in the day, I think I was using like Hugo 0.5. So this is a while back. And I remember it had a bug. And I remember having to pin the Hugo version for a little bit. But the latest versions, ever since like, what is it? .100 and something, I think we've been good. Batcat for life. You know, I do love Batcat. That was a good one. That was a good tip from chat. There is a Hugo preset. Okay, that's what I thought. Did I miss it? Oh, there we go. So here's the Hugo preset. Build commands Hugo, public for directory. Thank you for that, by the way. You can specify root directory if you want, and then you can specify additional environmental variables. Just choose the Hugo preset for now, and then we're ready to go. Save and deploy. I think that's it. Pretty simple. So it'll build and deploy it. Building application. Now, we will need to pick out a theme, set our Hugo TOML file, all of that. All right, we've deployed to region Earth. Nice. Not Mars, but Earth. All right. Personally, I don't think you need to be a designer, but it is what I like to see. Yeah, I think there's you'll probably see a lot of my design, like my website that's run on Hugo for like probably the last couple years. This is all just Hugo based. Some of it I hacked together. I'm no designer though. And it's fine for my purposes. It gets the job done. And I'm able to do everything. It links back to my YouTube videos. The comments section, I did something special where you have to have a GitHub account. You know how most website comment sections are just utter trash? If you use Utterance Bot, this is a big pro tip for you. You know how here's something for WordPress people. WordPress people pay, what's that really crappy comment thing that everyone gives money to for all the WordPress noobs out there? God, what was it called? Oh, geez. Everybody, Discus? Was it Discus? Oh, gosh. Discus comments or something? I feel like it was something like that. Yeah, discuss. Well, however the hell you say it. Yeah, this is the biggest crap. Like, they had like a WordPress plugin, monetized it, and then like put tons of ads on people's websites. And all these WordPress people are just giving a bunch of money to all these like crappy plugins. Discus was one of them. I remember using it and I was like, yeah, people pay money for this, huh? And this is like installing malware on your website. That's crazy. I mean, but it's WordPress, you know. WordPress people like to install malware on their website. A lot of times I'm like, oh my God, this website got hacked when I first look at like a new business, and I'm like, oh, never mind. That's just the web developer installing a bunch of crap. You know? That's the typical WordPress dev there. Oh gosh. Anyways, I'm gonna just crap. This is gonna just buckle up. I'm sorry if you really do like WordPress. This is not the stream for you. I am literally just gonna shit on WordPress for the next hour or two because there's just so much there. There's just so much there to just rip into. What makes your way of making websites better than services that make you like use Squarespace and stuff? Well, it's free. There's no security profile because it's just no attack surface. There's not a whole bunch of this terrible economy around it where people are just preying on you with every single plugin. Oh, you want to add a comment section? That's $10 a month. Oh, you want to add commerce? Oh, yeah. Well, we go through this crappy plugin, and guess what? That's $50 a month. Oh, you want a slider? Yeah, you can do this ad-supported version, but if you want the free version, that's $5. Oh, do you want this? Yeah, you get where I'm going with this? Like, not only does your website run like a turd and get just terrible performance results, but you pay out the nose for all this crap. you literally pay all this money. You don't get any security updates. You get, if anything, security holes, because guess what? A lot of times people don't go back and update their WordPress plugins. And when they do, a lot of times there's not even any good ones, or maybe they introduce more bugs. Like, using WordPress in 2024 is for insane people or really stupid people. There is no in between. There is nobody out there with above a room temperature IQ using WordPress. Full stop. I'm sorry, I just insulted most of the internet there, but I'm just really sick of people saying I gotta use WordPress. You will not have a job if you do not switch from WordPress. I don't care what, you don't have to pick Hugo, but you gotta pick something else. Stop with the WordPress madness. That's what I'm going for. Sorry, you WordPress user. I'm really sorry. I probably was a little harsh there. But sometimes you gotta hear this stuff because, frankly, most people online don't want to tell you that because there's no money in telling you that. There's a lot of money in telling you use WordPress. Oh, by the way, check the description. Hey, on my website, I got some plugins for you. I really like you. So we're going to make it $9.99 for the first month. That's the world we live in. That's for WordPress users. And if you like that, who am I to tell you different? There's just a better, faster, more secure way to do it, and it's free. So, anyways, getting back to it, I'm sorry. That was a little harsh. It's really harsh. Probably going to get skewered. There's going to be another... Oh, somebody's been sending me shorts about people. Some of these clips. Oof. Pretty rough. There's a hit job going on online on me, which is actually pretty easy to do when you just clip my live streams. But that's okay. But there's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of meat on the bone for WordPress just to beat up on, and we're gonna just have fun. We're only 30 minutes into this stream, and I'm just getting started. All right, let's go. Yeah, Sparky, Digital Sparky, was actually the one that turned me on to Hugo. What was that, 4 years ago, Sparky? I think you were the one that was like, dude, you got to try Hugo. And you were like, at the time, Cloudflare pages didn't exist. And I think we used Netlify. And Sparky helped me. He was like, hey, yeah, you want to get off there. You got to try this. And I was like, oh my God, where has this been all my life? So big shout out, man. Big shout out to you. Anyways, getting back to my comments section before I went on that massive tangent about how crappy the comments are on all WordPress websites. You just hook up GitHub using Utterance Bot in Netlify. Setting this up requires the user to have a little bit of a brain and set up a GitHub account. And here's the best thing. GitHub has built-in spam protection, so it automatically monitors the comments for you, so you don't have a whole bunch of people just spamming links and crap on your website. So it has all this built-in protection, and it requires the user to use their GitHub account. If they don't have a GitHub account, they can create one to make a comment. But, you know, the average person that, you know, might leave like a really nasty comment or just crap comment that's like, does not work. Low tier comments typically don't have it in them to actually sign in with GitHub or create a GitHub account, which is great. So then all your comments are pretty high quality. And I love checking my comment section. Like, I haven't even actually read what was on the screen. It'd be pretty funny. It was something bad. Oh, thanks, man. Great timing, mate. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is great. So, that's actually really good comments. Maybe something a little more negative. When I crapped on CrowdStrike, there's probably, there's no comment on that one. But yeah, it's fun. Oh, this one probably has some comments. Only one comment. I agree with your sentiment. We should all do our part to contribute to open source. Oh, look at that. Who has ever seen positive comments on a website? There you go. You want to bring back the old internet, just do GitHub for the comment section. Anyways, so you set up this. I'm sorry, I'm just getting so sidetracked. I just get so passionate about this because I've just absolutely loved all of Hugo and setting it up. It's just been so much fun. It's just, anyways. This is my website, all Hugo based. So let's get back to setting up this brand new one. And if we look at Age of Titus, let's reload. I think it's not going to be anything there because we haven't gotten a theme. Let's go on Hugo themes. Can we make it look good? That's the thing. Oh, and guess what? You don't have to pay any money for your themes either. Oh my God. What, Titus? You don't need to pay money for themes? What is this? Some kind of open source project? Yes, that's exactly what it is. So let's pick a theme, shall we? So great. I love it. So let's just fly through this, find something that gels with what I kind of want. Age of Titus is going to be my gaming channel / website for my Age of Empires endeavor, where I put all of the amazing things I find as I'm a noob learning Age of Empires. I know. Super interesting, riveting website. Does anything like this speak to me? Now, if you do see a team in here and like, hey, we have to have this, Titus, I'm like, all right. But I don't see anything that speaks to me yet that I'm like, hey, that might be good for a gaming website. All right. Although I do like me some minimal clean themes. Just straight up markdown. I probably would go with that. I actually used Main Road for a little bit on my website back in 2000. I think that's the first theme I used for about a year. You kind of want to grab a theme that's been updated recently. Usually they have a lot of cool little tidbits, which is great. Archie is great. Terminal is great. Agreed. I just kind of want a little more flair, maybe. So let's keep going. If you want like a more of a minimal website, that's good. If what's the other thing I always see content creators use? They pay money for it too, which is crazy. Linktree. You guys ever seen Linktree? That's crazy. Yeah. So Linktree is stupid. Just use Hugo and then just use, I think it's links. So if you go to themes, let me do that. I think it is links. If you are a Linktree user, stop that business. Stop wasting your money. Yeah. Grab this. Grab the links theme, install it, use that instead of Linktree or Linktree, whatever that stupid website is all the content creators use. This is so much better. Just uses Tailwind CSS, just minimal, clean. You can change whatever you want from it and just host it directly through Cloudflare. So anyways, that's one other instance where just get your brain working. How do I use this? Oh, there's a good theme site builder too. Okay, I'll check that out, Sparky. All right. But you have to pay for hosting. No, you don't. There is no payment. It's free. Cloudflare pages. Just go on here. Free. Let's go to limits. So here's Cloudflare pages. So below are the limits observed by the free plan. You can only build your website 500 times per month on the free plan. Excuse me? 500 times. That's after you publish it to GitHub. Guess what? You don't need you could build it 1,000 times and you still wouldn't hit this limit because guess what? You're building it locally, testing it, and everything's done locally. So you know how in WordPress, you're like typing your crap in and then going preview. Okay, let's wait for it to load and blah, blah, blah. None of that. Everything's done locally. So you see this website, what was it? Oh, I closed christitus.com. But let's just open it again. So christitus.com. Well, I don't necessarily have to do that. Let's go over to the regular website. Let's go Hugo server. I'm going to pull in F and D. So F is for, I think it's fast build, and then D's drafts. And I want to pull all that in. Now I can go on localhost 1313. Localhost. Where are you at? Localhost 1313. And this is just like some basic things I've kind of thrown in. Now I don't have thumbnails or anything for this, but let's say Linux to Windows power users. You have these, and you might be thinking, oh gosh, all right. Let's go over into website. Let's just show you a basic edit here. Windows to users, power users. Windows user to power users. Oh, power. No. What did I? Was it Windows to Linux? I think it was Windows to Linux. Yeah, that's it. So here's this website in Markdown. So this is what it looks like. This is what the Markdown looks like. Pretty easy. So if I see something in here, I'm like, you know what? Welcome to Linux. Windows to Linux is a hard transition for many users. So let's say we change that for smooth brain users. Yeah, there we go. So that's saved. bam, you see the update in real time. Guess what? That's all right here on this side of there. How cool is that, right? So you can add things and you see it as you're changing in Markdown. So if you're not familiar with Markdown, don't worry. Just start hacking away and you can do like a side-by-side. I'm on 1080p here, so it's not the best setup. I prefer like a 1440 or even like a 4K screen would even be better. I could probably get a little bit more done with just one screen, or maybe have a dual monitor setup, be editing in one and have the website up on the other in a local one. But it's sitting there live, just sitting there refreshing. So as you edit the thing, it gets reflected over here, which is great. And you can do HTML directly built in. You can make little tags like I have. Let's just go down to the bottom. Tags like this with the brackets and the YouTube. And this is just a short link to YouTube. It's a video identifier tag that Google uses. And what it does is that tag has an entire section of custom code, and it just pulls that in and drops it in every time for me. So instead of having to go insert link and then grab that YouTube video and then embed it a weird way, all I do is just grab the video identifier, toss it in this little short link, done. It always does it perfect every time, perfect formatting, exactly how I want it. So it saves you a ton of time by learning this stuff. Just to kind of showcase this power user. Let's not put smooth brain in there. I'm not trying to piss everybody on the world off. But I just wanted to show that local host build really fast, just so people understand that even when it comes to this, because someone said, what's the limits? So then you have that. As far as domains, how many websites can you build for free? We're still talking about free. So obviously 500 times a month, well, you're never going to get probably 10, maybe 100 if you're just insane. What do we got? Can I load dynamic data with Hugo from the backend? Absolutely, Ruby. It's even easier than WordPress, which is even better. Just telling you, it's awesome. So then custom domains. You can only have 100 custom domains. Who the hell has more than 100 custom domains? Just throwing that out there. Files. Cloudflare pages can contain up to 20,000 files in this distribution. So if you have more than 20,000 pages in your web page, maybe not the way to go. Maximum file sizes for Cloudflare pages. The site asset limit's 25 megs. Honestly, that's not really a problem. If you do have one that's like bigger than that, what you can do is you can host it elsewhere and then just link it in your web page, which if it's more than 25 megs, you probably want to do that anyways. It just depends on what you're doing at the website. And if you're a business, typically if that's a sale item, honestly, over 25 megs probably is going to be some kind of download. That's probably going to be paywalled, and that's going to be hosted by Shopify anyways, because that's what you use. It's what the world uses. Honestly, if you're a WordPress user and you have a store and you have digital downloads in your store using like WooCommerce or whatever the hell WordPress users use nowadays, yeah, all that crap's just going through Stripe or Shopify anyways. You're just paying a middleman. That's the thing about WordPress that just drives me crazy is all you're doing is just paying existing services with an upcharge to a middleman. And that's the gist of it, to make it easy. But I mean, how much easier is it? I think once you get the hang of it and you educate yourself, I find this way easier. And anytime I ever have to deal with WordPress for a client or something like that, I'm just like, brother, why? So yeah, Chris is a bit of a noob using GitHub Desktop. This is facts. You know what? I try to inspire others. If I can do it, you can do it. I don't know everything. Don't pretend to know everything. That's why I like to do it all on the live stream, so you guys can just go, oh, well, damn, okay. I'm not so crazy after all. Titus can figure it out. I got this. Okay, stop using GitHub Desktop. All right, Peter, I'll stop using GitHub Desktop. I know what I'll choose instead. I'll just launch my cursor. Oh crap, the cursor does not launching. No. I was going to use cursor with source control. It's better than GitHub Desktop. Oh. Oh, I'm sorry. But anyways, I guess, Peter, this is the great thing about Cosmic. For some odd reason, I can't actually launch cursor. Maybe, let's try to launch it from here. Okay, it does launch from, it just doesn't launch from the run menu. Just use source control. See, you can do all your polls, you can do your commits, do the messaging. Man, this is so much better than GitHub Desktop. Thank you for mentioning that, Peter. If I didn't think of GitHub Desktop, I don't need GitHub Desktop. I got Cursor. It's so much better. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. All right, getting back to it. Getting back to our age of Titus. We didn't pick a theme out. So let's pick a theme out. Chat derailed me with the limits. Needless to say, you have way more limits in pretty much every other environment that you've ever published to. The Cloudflare free, you're never going to run into almost any of these limits. The big things was like the 25 meg asset limit and the 20,000 file limit. Those are the two biggest things that you need to be aware of. All this other stuff, I mean, you're never going to hit builds. You're never going to hit custom limits. The rest of this is just semantics. So don't worry about it. The big thing here, and if you have more than 100 projects, you're not going to have more than 5 probably. So those are the big things. And you could always create a new account if you do need more than that. It doesn't matter. Those are the big hard stop limits. All right, back to themes. Still got to pick a good gaming theme here. Let's see. Main road, that. Universal. What do I feel like? Docs API? That's kind of a cool idea. Blowfish theme's what Zero uses. And reveal Hugo. Ooh. That's using JavaScript. You might notice that some of these uses JavaScript, some of them uses like Node. I think there's even a few in here that even use like Next.js probably. You know, there's a lot of different themes in here. Ooh. Bootstrap, that kind of has some old WordPress vibes for the WordPress people out there. That feels very WordPressy. What do we think about that? CLI.github.com. Check it out. Stop using GitHub Desktop. Stop being a noob. I will forever be a noob. My job here is to try and educate people and make them comfortable with their noobness so they no longer become a noob. They evolve and eclipse me. And I love seeing that. Please use Doc API on ChrisTitus.com. Oh, yeah, that's true. That would be nice. I do need to probably update ChrisTitus.com. It's been a while. So maybe one of these times I will start switching that over. I just have so much custom crap I built for ChrisTitus.com that I'm like, I don't want to mess with it. All right. Don't think I want that. Dead simple. It's just a little too basic for me. Hugo Nightfall. Oh, that's pretty. Well, what do we got in pinned? Oh, okay. Get Hugo themes. Oh, but that's paid though. Sparky, the pin one. Like if you go get Hugo themes, I want to say that's all paid stuff. I was just want to use free stuff. I mean, this stuff does look better. I will say that. So this is a themes bundle. You get all 61 themes for 200 bucks. Well, I guess if you're coming from WordPress, you're probably used to this type of stuff. So this is more of your professional designer themes. So I guess you want something a little more pretty. I don't want pretty, though. I want free. So moving on. I care more about this. This is gaming. I don't want to spend any money. Come on now. You know I'm cheap. Why would you recommend that? They do look better. They definitely look better. There's no doubt about that. Oh, let's see. I'll still find a diamond in the rough. This is mostly for a starting point. I'm just thinking from a good base, because whatever I end up picking, I'm going to change a lot of. Remember, these themes are very configurable. It's not like WordPress where you install it in a WordPress install and then it's like, oh crap, there's 50,000 files on this theme. A lot of it, you're like, okay, well, I like most of this setup and kind of like the configuration, maybe like a 2-column setup. And you're like, okay, that gives me a good base to work off of. And then I kind of like to change as I go. That's kind of what I started when I came to my theme that I'm using now. Is it looked completely different, and I slowly changed and modified and added features. Like I think mine didn't even have like code formatting, and I wanted that. And then I think I wanted a dark light theme, which I kind of hacked together, albeit kind of bad. I'm not a very good web programmer, mind you. I just more of an infrastructure person, and I'm like, ooh, this works really well. And you can do, if you are a designer, you totally can use this. Just know that it's very granular, which we'll get into once I pick a theme. So I probably just need to pick something. Ooh, dark theme editor. I like that. But what's telling me more gaming side of things? Hugo Minion. Yeah. No. Minimal marketing. Gosh, look at that. Cyberscape. It has like the GeoCity vibes from like the 90s. I got to click on it. Oh my gosh. I think I found my theme. This is it. It was a little old, but man. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Let's go to the demo site. Do we have a demo site? This is the one. This is the one. Just ask AI to build one. We could do that. Don't tempt me. Don't you tempt me. All right, this is using Tailwind. It does use some Node, it looks like. What else we got? I don't really have anything to go off, but let's just install it. I want to install this theme. I know I could have picked something prettier, but I'm not a designer. I just know awesome websites when I see them. And this right here is an awesome website. All right, let's go. I'm bringing back the GeoCities. I'm doing Age of Empires called Age of Titus. GeoCities type setup using Hugo. It's going to look like a 1990s website, but built with 2020 technology. Ah, love it. All right. So what we do, we're on our web directory. We're going to just add the subdirectory right here. So it's going to clone Cyberscape into the themes directory. It's 2024? Oh, man. Kidding me. Lord, thanks for the Prime. Yeah, this is mainly for this. Oh, God. Come on. How big is this thing? Is it going to clone? Internet's been acting a little wonky. Oh, well. The reason I mentioned the paid Get Hugo theme stuff, because I own a bundle license. I can send you a copy if you like. I think I actually bought something from there too. I might already have that Sparky. I appreciate it though. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Yeah, but I mean, it is very good. Can't resolve github.com. What? No. Let's try it again. Okay, yeah. I don't know what was up with that. Fix chat. Chat broke on me. 1 second, chat. Thomas, thanks for the tier 1. All right, let's restore this. Oh, Twitch. Man, I've been having the most problems in my streams with chat lately. I don't know why. 1 second, let me get chat back up here. Just gotta reconnect. It's coming back online. And yes, high solar activity today. Yeah, it's all good. We're back in business. Look at that, back and connected, at least for the time being. I only paid for the $100 for the lifetime bundle. I mean, yeah, and you get like 60-something themes in that bundle. So if you are a professional developer, the thing is, yeah, you probably would just pay the $100 to get all that just as good examples to go off of. Because at the end of the day, you're going to probably mostly change these themes if you're a professional developer. I don't know, is web developers even still a thing for a profession? I don't know. Okay, so we have this. Now, we probably need to change the Hugo Toml file is the next thing. So this is the base URL. We're going to change this to your website. So this is the root of the website. So ageoftitus.com will be the website. And let's go delete tell that. Ah, man, no, that wasn't it. Whatever. All right. Let's go. What do we want to name the title of this? We'll just call it Age of Titus. A Game of Thrones board game. Oh, gosh. I love it. Age of Titus. We'll call this Where Noobs Play Like Pros. That would be a blatant lie. I can't lie like that. Where noobs play like pros. I like it. It's tagged. It's catchy. Oh no. Oh no. LLMs and Vim. Yes. Embrace the aliens. Where noobs play. I like that. I think that's a little bit more honest. So this is just the base one. We've got all that going. I think we just publish, right? Initial publish. Now, I want to say for the configuration, we do have a little bit more actually. Let's pull up our browser here. We'll go into GitHub and Age of Titus. And I just kind of want to show how this looks. So under the themes directory, you have an examples in here. So under here, usually there's an examples that we can actually pull those configuration from. So I do not see the examples package here though. It might be a little different on this one. Yeah, Chris's worst move. Keep staring over microing during an attack and not building anything. I agree, Peter. But I mean, honestly, when you're first starting out, I think you can get through both Silver and Gold League with you just focusing on building and, well, honestly, it's really just two things. Always be building villagers, and then just the second thing is just spend your resources. If you do that, I think you win every single time. No. This is just layouts, static, images. Oh my gosh. I think this is more of a joke. Usually there's an example in here for an actual configuration. Yeah, this is pretty bare bones. This is very bare bones. Yeah. And then open up your config.toml and add the following. All right. Let's do this. Navigate to themes and install dependencies with npm install. Okay. So we'll do that. Vim config.toml. Haven't really done anything here. We're going to just toss that in. And what else do we have? Let's do our npm install. All right, cool. With that done, we're ready to rock. Let's come back a little bit. Let's just do a Hugo server real fast and see. Unable to locate config file or config directory. You may need to create a new website. Okay, nope. I put that config file in the wrong spot, didn't I? Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. No wonder. I do have the, okay, config toml's here. Hugo server. There we go. So let's test. What's this look like? Localhost 131. Page not found. Shucks. What did I do wrong here? Yeah. Oh man, I would love, we'll add the Netscape GIF to this too. I thought config toml was here. Let's see. So warning, no layout found for HTML for the kind home. You need to create a template file which matches the Hugo layouts, lookup rules, and combination. No layout for HTML and taxonomy. You need to create a template file that matches Hugo layout, lookup rules. Okay, so obviously some issues here. We do have the config file right here. That is true. I think I can just toss all this in Hugo toml, to be honest with you, but I think that's not going to fix us. I think I shouldn't have picked such a weird theme to start off with, but it's okay. Ensure you're up to date and input that. I do love it though. So, what did I do? What did I do wrong? So this is this guy's theme. Let's look at the example he has. So he has that. What did he put it for his Hugo toml? See, he put it all right here. You know what? We're going to just do this. Let's just copy. When in doubt, copy. I don't know if that's a thing, but yeah, no. Let's just toss that here. Good, good, good. Language code. Theme cyberspace. Nice. All right. What else do we have here? README, license, demo site. And under content, He has markdown and resources. You know what? I'm just going to steal these 2 files as well, just so we have these guys. Let's just copy raw file. Ooh, actually, you know what? I think I'll just grab, do a wget of it. So we'll go into content. This is where like all your posts live. So we'll just wget here, and we're just going to grab the markdown file and also grab his resources file. So with that, let's come back. Don't know if that's enough. Yeah, it got rid of most of the errors. That might be enough. Let's see. Oh, it's perfect. Oh my gosh. It's so beautiful. WordPress, eat your heart out. Use Xclip. Yeah, you can't use Xclip in Wayland, though. This is absolute peak internet here, guys. It doesn't get any better than this. So, obviously, first thing we need to do, probably do like strategies, right? That would probably be pretty awesome. So to get started, check out the docs. What are the docs? So here's the docs for this. You got the install, you got the note, but how am I going to create like new posts? So usually in Hugo, you do like Hugo new post and then just paste. This one doesn't have very good documentation. Most of them have a way better documentation than this, but that's all right. Let's see, maybe resources. Try to make something fun. Here you get going. Web mastery, cool text generator, PC fonts, hosting guide. Oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Markdown. So it's so great. Let's see. Pages are coded in simple markdown file. I think we can just do a Hugo new post and then just see where we go. Let's see what it gives us. The one thing I have here, let's look at his archetype and look at the default. Oh, he's just, that's it. That's his whole archetype, huh? Bold. Minimal. Make it in Laravel. Don't they charge money? Kind of out on that. I like free. I know I'm cheap, but you know. If you're going to go 90s theme, just go flashbang roll white. Now, I mean, if honestly in the 90s, this is going to date me a little bit, but I loved building web pages with Macromedia Flash. Not Adobe Flash, but Macromedia Flash. Oh, it was so cool. I had some like awesome Flash websites back in the day. Oh, that was peak internet right there. Sorry. I don't know about all these new whiz-bang features where, oh, Laravel is free. Laravel. Yeah. It's a full stack framework based on PHP. It's free and open source. Okay, well, I'm game. We can take a look. Yeah, it is sad. Do the logo. We need it. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll do that here in a bit. I want to finish my... There's priorities here, Adam. We got to finish the 90s website for my gaming page. I'm up to 14 followers over on that channel. And I'm really going places. You're looking at the next pro gamer in the RTS League. You heard it here first. So, let's get going. Here we go. So first thing, let's create a new page. Let's say Noob Strats is going to be the new first page. So usually I'd go like Hugo posts, and typically you would order it by like a year. So I usually would go like 2024 and would go like Noob Strats. All right, we'll call it Silver Strats because Silver is like the super noob league strats.markdown. So this would create a whole new page usually. Looks like that worked. So then let's edit that. And that looks good. Come in here. So then you go Silver Strats. Always keep building villagers. All right. And spend all resources. Nothing else matters. You are a noob. And noobs don't do these things. And that is why you lose. Do these and you win. Enjoy. Simple, to the point, and honestly, that is true. Everything I said there is factually accurate, albeit maybe a little harsh. Oh. Probably do like a PS here too. PS. Don't do 2TC or complex things when you suck and can't micro or macro properly. There we go. Great. There we go. Awesome. Typo on line 5. You know, I am just known for typos. Strategy probably. Awesome. So now we have that. We have our base website. We have that. What does it look like when we do new post on here? So we're uploading this. We have our new cyberspace or cyberscape theme. We've added a new post. We're publishing it. We actually didn't need to push this. We could have easily just done like a Hugo server. And was that, I can't remember if that was in set as a draft or not. Either way, let's check. Looks like it was set as a draft. This is the menu. So we probably would want to do like a post menu or something. Let's see where this put it. So what happens, what's going on when Hugo servers run? The big thing here is it's building a static site using this. So the markdown is just a reference point. It uses that in combination with the other parts of the theme to build the actual static web pages, which are just straight up HTML. So let's go into GitHub, Age of Titus, and when you're running Hugo server, it builds the public. This right here is what gets built by Cloudflare. So when you launch this, it's here. So if you look, you got posts, and then you got post index being here. So we should be able to look at this. Let's open it. And this is just the markdown right here. So let's look at posts real fast. Oh no. Let's come back here. Posts. What's this HTML look like? You can actually look at what's getting generated. It didn't actually generate that new post. I think we might actually have to pick a real theme here, guys. I'm sorry, but I don't think this theme's gonna work. There's also GitHub. Yeah, I mean, we could use a lot of things here. Okay. Well, I just like it all auto-generated. I'm not one to give up easily, though. Since you guys say we got to keep it, I'll just hard code it. It'll be fine. Let's see. Was that a draft? Let's see, because it won't actually get published if it's a draft. So there is draft true. Let's go false for this. Let's do a Hugo server. Now, if you don't want to do that, you could do like an FD for fast and draft. This would actually generate more of it. So let's cancel this now. And I want to look back on that and see what we have. All right, Cyberscape for life. Cyberscape for life. We got it. Giraffes 19. Thank you for the tier 1, man. Let's go. And we got that. We'll come into Age of Titus again. I really hate this viewer. I think we're gonna have to switch from Cosmic today, guys. I apologize. So now we've got the, see how it's created the 2024 Silver Strats video and then it's buried in here. Let's see if it generated the posts on the index. It's also something I kind of want to do. F Brit, thank you for the prime. So let's open this guy up. The thing I love about Hugo is it is very much the static site. It just generates all this stuff. So good. Reload. No. So where did it put it? Yeah, we could always just hard reference it. Hate to do that, but so here's your strat. So this is what it built. All right, cool. Pretty basic, but let's pull that into our theme and see what it looks like when it's displayed on the screen. I'm hoping it looks like GeoCities from 1990s. So good. All right, it is bugging me. It is bugging me. So let's... One second. Let's log out. Let's go DWM. All right, we'll go back into my DWM. There we go. Back home. Old Faithful. Ah, so much better. Okay, great. Now we can actually manage and launch all our stuff properly and do it. It's cool. I liked Cosmic, by the way. Still got some new, but for Alpha 2, working pretty good. And now I'm going to actually... I can't believe I do not have that in my places. Huh. All right. I'm going to add this over here, just since we're going to be referencing GitHub. And this, I'll just keep it on like my third. So under this build, I want to go in and reference our posts. Let's go Z age of, let's Vim. Probably modifying that navigation bar is the first priority. That's going to be done usually with a config.toml in most Hugo themes. Sometimes the configuration toml files and more complex themes, this is like super basic. There's not much auto generation happening here, but you would do, sometimes there would be a menu toml, sometimes there'd be a config toml, and then there'd be like the main.toml or hugo.toml like this. So this is extremely simple where most people won't have these types of things. So let's just make this posts. And what we're going to do is come into the posts directory. And I'm going to run this consistently in the background too. So we're going to Age of Titus. And I'm going to just show you how I would normally go. I usually just run it as FD, have it running all the time, and then have my website loaded up like this. So you can see that that's going to just give me the post directory, but the post directory is not actually populating. So we need to fix that. So probably the best thing to do here, let's go tree, see kind of what we have. So this is all the files in this folder right now. Ooh, YAML, gross. Anyways, most of this JavaScript, all this built. Oh, okay. How do we want to configure it? And let's go into layouts. We're going to go into theme, cyberspace, layouts. This is where a lot of this is. Now, if you want to change something like, let's say you don't like the 401 page, you can do that as well and change how that looks through a layout. Just to showcase this, let's just pull that up. This is what a layout does. So you can actually say, okay, I want to modify how 404 looks. Right now, it's just going to show 404 and say, oh no. So if you're over here and you have localhost and you go at the end, go blah, 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 and it's a bad link. This is what it looks like. So if you want to modify that, let's just Vim, and we're going to go 404 in this layout. So we can go, this does not exist. Boom, save. And then let's refresh. Did not change that. Let's rebuild maybe. No, it should live rebuild. Maybe we gotta do a full rebuild. Let's see. There it goes. Whenever you change the template itself, you're going to have to relaunch. But obviously for posts and things, it will do live like I showed earlier. You need to use that. All right, let's see. Let's try that out, Sparky. We're waiting for Chris to break something. Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, let's look. Let's look at this and see what we got. You got your body class. I mean, shoot, I might be able to just steal most of this. Actually, no, I think you got, yeah, the reference of the background.png. I was like, oh, I might be able to grab it with the SVN, but I could grab this background.png, reference it from like an images directory, and then just pull in the rest of this page directly into here. I mean, that's easy to do. So yes, this is just an example of kind of what all you could do. There's a lot of things. I gotta change the theme. This one's not really showing the power of Hugo though. Like there's so much auto generation that can happen in really good themes that I'm kind of like, just not feeling it, you know? Sorry, I want to show people more. I do. Nope. Gonna go. Let's go dark theme, 86. I'm just gonna grab something that has a good bit of auto gen to it. Look at this, Nelio. Recently updated, looks good, has tags. I think this is fine. I want to show people actually what it looks like because this is not a representation. This is me just kind of trolling. And I'm like, I kind of want to show people the power of Hugo. Well, we could hack around and change this and emulate a 90s website. And I kind of want to do that. I actually want to show people that are serious about switching from WordPress this. Because I think it is important. So, while I like it, I gotta go back on it, guys. I'm sorry. Sub-module remove. How do I do a sub-module remove? Well, you know what? I know what'll get chat worked up. Okay. Let's go File, Open Folder. We're gonna go into GitHub. Then we're going to go Age of Titus Select. Perfect. Okay. So, remove submodule. So there's that submodule. The submodule is under themes. So themes. Remove submodule themes cyberspace. Oh, cyberscape. My bad. Oh. So the submodule dient themes cyberscape, and then you would do the remove and then remove the get modules. Oh, okay. Actually, the themes dash cyberscape is what needs to be removed. I know. Sometimes I just don't want to think, and I just want the LLM to think for me. I know you guys love that. You love it when I do that. So we're going to remove this. Let's push this change. But we never did show Age of Titus. Did it actually show on the website? Oh, I hadn't pushed yet. I don't think I actually pushed this yet. Yeah, oh well. We're going to clear this out. Escape. And then we're going to add something new. All right, installation. Let's grab the Nelios theme. We're going to clone this out. And then for the installation and configuration, we're going to change an example of the Hugo Toml file. Let's grab this. You can see there's a lot more going on here with like the parameters and just different things. That's good. And then we'll do this with an npm of Tailwind CSS and a Tailwind CSS init. We will not do any kind of, Hugo Toml. And what we're going to do, VG, come all the way to the end, paste. Okay. So default language content's fine. Language codes, duplicate. Content's fine. Nope. Language code, nope. Title, nope. Discus short name. Oh my god, I just finished roasting Discus. That's hilarious. This one actually has disgust or whatever you call this thing. I always call it disgust. It disgusts me. I always like to use utterance bot. It's just a way better solution. All right, static directory is going to be themes Nelio static, theme Nelio. Then we got our languages, so you can do multiple languages like Chinese, English, and you got SEO parameters, site description. Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything like that. Let's go 2024. Add a little copyright to it, sure. Titus Tech Gaming. So this is just the basic setup. You could do Google AdSense here. You can do Google Analytics, that's GA4. And I'm not going to do either one. There's not going to be an AdSense or Analytics, but easily add just by adding it right down here. This is just a different thing. I wanted to show multiple themes, obviously. This one's going to be a little bit more feature complete than the GeoCities theme. I just got distracted. I just loved that so much. I might go back to it. So let's just do a build real fast. We have something, error on line 59 of Hugo Toml. So let's go down to 59. I think these words, all of that, putting that in there is no good. I want to say these comments are bad, something like that. So I guess these are meant to be removed. Let's try it again. Yeah. Cool. Now let's go localhost. So this is going to be code trace. A little more feature complete. Recommended posts, categories, tags, contact, home. So what else do we have? So now I want to show the actual post, because we should be able to come into content. This is where all your content lives. I'm actually going to wipe all this out real fast just to trash it. And let's look at the Tailwind too, because I don't think we're quite done with the setup. Customizing the theme. If you plan to modify this theme, note that it's built with Tailwind CSS. Before making changes, make sure you initialize Tailwind, which we probably will do modifications. So let's do that. And we are good. To enable search functionality, you need to configure JSON output in the Hugo TOML file with just these outputs. Okay. All that looks good. Probably would change a little bit on this Hugo theme. Oh. Probably right here to, what do we got? CH. All right, that's good. Get rid of those languages. Then we would just have home, categories, tags, and contact. So categories, tags, and contact should be referenced in posts. I'm kind of curious to see what that looks like when we do a new post. The other thing I want to look at under themes, Nelio, let's look at what they're doing for the archetype. On the default, nothing there. Okay. Oh boy, I'm scared to check that, Adam. Let's see. You can also get, it is a Git repository, which I'm skeptical of what this PR looks like. I know. So, all right. We have this in basic functionality. I'm not a huge fan of this theme, but let's do a new post and see what that brings in. Man, I might just go with main road again, because I remember that one working very well. But frankly, if I did these other themes that were a little bit more, not the free kind, might be a little bit better too. So Hugo, new posts. Instead of posts, actually, let's just use, what was the references? Well, new, Hugo new posts, test, not markdown. No existing content directory configured for this project. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I have no posts directory, so we'll go into content. Right now we have nothing in the content directory. Make directory posts. Hugo new posts, test, the markdown. Yeah, there's a content directory that you gotta put in. I can't remember exactly how. Oh, this one might be configured differently from a themes perspective, though. And no, that's totally yeah, that's totally have everything in there. Let's see, maybe they've added an example file to look at too. The cool thing about this is usually you can go into here and go, okay, what's this should look like? Let's go to an example site. And we can pull from that example site to say, okay, what are we missing from ours? And then once you get that set up, you can modify the templates and everything to kind of suit your needs. Oh, content English. Yeah, somebody already chat to the rescue. So here's the static directory. Where is it referencing? Default content language English. Default content language in subdirectory true. So honestly, we could just get rid of this. And we could just get rid of that. And I want to say we can kind of pull this back. We can simplify this a little bit. Something like this might be a little bit easier to just maintain. I'm not going to obviously do two multiple languages. That is currently present. So menus main, that looks fine to me. Wait, now. I don't think that, oh no, that did work. Okay, good. Now we have the new binding. Let's relaunch our website. And what we're going to do, come back. Come on. Hugo server error, logged one error, reload. Nope. Failed. Discus short name was depreciated in Hugo 2.1, removed. Use site.config discus instead. That's fine. We're not even using that. So let's go into Hugo. Help if you read. All right. Let's go draft. Site.discus short name was depreciated. Use site. Let's find this. Let's find that. Discus short name. Where's that at? All right, we're going to find where this is referenced and change it. Apparently, this theme has not been updated. Ah, that's what's given an error. Well, so much for this being updated. So much for this being easier. Yeah, well, whatevs. All right. Should be fine now. And that rebuilds fine now. And now we are back in business. Okay. So we have our home test. And then we have this. So that's our first post. And we could add more. So let's add more. We'll go Hugo new posts. This time we'll go 2024 test2.markdown. We'll vim into that test2.markdown. And we'll take that off a draft. Directly publish. And then we'll say, okay, test2. Oh, look at that. Let's just do a little column test. And then we'll do header 2. Post generation of Hugo in Cloudflare pages. So we have that. You should see the generation happening in the background. And we're going to just go home. You have test. It did not grab those. And we don't have any categories or tags yet over here. I feel like that did not rebuild. Let's try that again. Might not be picking up that subdirectory. Hey, how's it going, Peter? Doing well, doing well. We have some people that agree on the issue on the Titus Age of Titus repo. Okay. I tell you what, I'm going to buckle here, Adam. We're going to go back to the GeoCities website. I just first wanted to generate this. I should have grabbed this one. I should have just grabbed like the most popular Hugo theme that's free and then just done it. And then said, look, here's how the auto generation works. This one, obviously, don't use the Nelio theme because it's a little bit old and it's not properly generating quite how I want it to. That's how it goes sometimes, though. All right. Let's go. Age of Titus. I know. That's fine. Oh, no, it didn't generate that post. Where was that test 2? Oh, apparently I didn't make it. Okay. I thought I made that post. All right, Hugo, new posts. And we're going to just call this test2.markdown. Here's our post. So you change it from a draft. Usually I would always do this last if it's a live website. This is a test2 file. And then you can put like special code here. With the 3 backticks using just standard markdown. Header 2. I wonder why it's doing that. That's so weird. My LLMs are getting in the way. Header 2. All right. Huh. So strange. Anywho. Let's save this out. Draft. Oh, I should have put... So we have an error because I did a context error. Well, let's check that again. Draft false. Probably should have been like that, maybe. Incomplete number, website available. All right, fine. That's weird. Reload. So then we got test 2. And you can edit like pretty much everything. Ears can be configurable. I just wanted to show kind of like basic generation using a new theme. I picked the wrong themes because I didn't really test this beforehand, but needless to say, this is how you would do it. Now, having done all this, let's strip it out. We'll go back to Cyberscape. Since you're there, I'm like, all right, let's do it. Any recommendation when it comes to using Arch with BetterFS snapshots, being able to roll back updates in case something breaks? Yeah. That's a good idea. Just make sure you do proper subvolumes and you label the root one the @ symbol and the home one the @home. All right. You created the post in home. Oh, did I? Oh my gosh. I'm a little loopy today. That's okay though. All right. Let's remove. Actually, let's leave posts. I think we can just leave this content directory because technically the cool thing about Hugo is you can modify these. It just, if the archetypes are a little different from theme to theme, sometimes they won't pull over. Or let's say you have like special tags, like I have my YouTube tag in my current website. if I grabbed a new theme and tossed it in, it wouldn't necessarily be a drop-in replacement because there's a lot of custom things I put in those pages, but I could make sure to transplant those pieces of code over into the new Hugo theme to make all that possible. Let's just remove, let's go into themes, remove Nelio. Cyberscape is still there, but I feel like we can just remove that. Come back. What is the Git modules? Right now, submodule Cyberscape. Oh. It's kind of funny. I used the LLM to remove that, and it's still so much leftover crap. It's kind of funny, actually. Now, I am not. So I kind of want to redo that theme from Cyberscape. Let's start from scratch. Since you're just like harping on me about Cyberscape, let's make it work. It's not a great one to start off with. I highly recommend something a little more mainstream, but you can make any website work in this thing with just a little bit of effort. Already exists. Get pulled. All right. Let's go. Lazy G. Reset. All right. Get pull. All right. Where are we at? No layout for section, taxonomy, home, or page. Okay. So for that layout file, I believe we need to change Hugo. We've got post resources. Let's see. That's fine. No, to your commit, Chris. I think we're fine. If you can look at the Git log, I think we're back on Cyber. I never committed anything from that Nelio crap. So, we should be on it. I just need to fix a few things up real fast to bring it back. If you look at the Git, or honestly, I think you can just go Hugo. Yeah, Hugo just does a build. So if you just want to build real fast and you're not looking for a live commit, you could just type Hugo just to see if you have any errors or warnings. And then you can fix those layout rules. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I never, well. How do I pull the submodule down because I deleted the files? Can't remember. LLM, help me out. How to pull submodule after deleting its files. Okay, let's try that. Really? Oh, themes. Oopsies. All right. And I think we can just go themes. Nice. All right, let's see if that brought it back. Cool. There we go. Do we need to reinitiate that NPN? I think we do. Let's double check that. NPM initiate. All right, cool. We do have some audits to fix too. All right. Let's see, Hugo. I think I had a custom. Oh no. Yeah, I was doing a custom build so I could pull it onto my other servers. No, we'll just do a Hugo server actually. So here's what we have so far. So there's our Cyberscape back. Since you all have wanted some 1990s GeoCities kind of style, we're back. We're back. So let's see. Where to go from here? To design the website. And we have post, but post does not initiate, but that's okay. Probably would do... I think we just build it like you used to build websites in the 90s. It's probably the best way since we don't have any auto generation. Let's just remove posts altogether. Let's just build a brand new markdown file. So we're going to go Hugo new, and we're just going to call this like strategies. Strategies.markdown. So that would create the strategies file, and then we'll just reference it from the menu. I'm just overthinking it. So instead of posts, this would be strategies. And this would not... actually, we could probably make a strategies directory. I just don't know if it would actually reference everything in the strategies directory. I mean, we can try it. Then serve our new strategies / silver.markdown. And let's go into... Oh, nope. Jeez, way off. All right, now we got silver over here. Let's go false. Just make sure it always publishes. Villagers, and we're just gonna do two big ones. Okay, so that is a basic post, and I want to see if it actually is able to title silver. Okay, so what did I mess up? Tommel, incomplete number, draft. I think there's an issue with the server build there. Yeah, but it's fine now. Yeah, there it is. So strategies still doesn't fill out the strategies page though. So with this theme, it's just not grabbing the markdown files. So typically in most Hugo themes, when you're adding markdown files into that directory, you'll recursively find them and to display them in a proper way, but this one's not. Look at the website. It's hideous with the blue bar on the website. What are you talking about? This is my website. It's Hugo based. I don't say anything. It's fine. Do you not use an ad blocker? So, yeah. Oh, the Age of Titus website. Yeah. Your when util keeps getting closed. What can I do? Right click, run as administrator. That'll fix it. Why is the white top bar with a dark theme? I don't know. I mean, this is more of a joke website, obviously, because this is just kind of how things looked back in the 90s. Oh, this needs to be Age of Titus. I think is this a GIF? Gosh, okay, let's change that banner, right? I would imagine that's just a straight asset or static. Well, 1.8. Let's just inspect the element, right? What is it? So here's the header. href, figure ID, images, cyberspace. It's a GIF. Cyberspace GIF. So if we go into images, I don't see an images directory here, but maybe under static. Usually there's images. Sometimes it's there. Let's go to themes, and under cyberspace images, you'll see the screenshot and TN. Huh? Where is that? Probably assets. Just gonna pull this up over here. So nothing here, but usually they put it. And this is that and that. I mean, that's just a preview for the GitHub. So where did it put it? That's where it put it, right there. So static dash images. What I would do here, usually instead of changing the sub files in the theme, typically what takes precedent is if you're in the static file right here, you create a new folder called images. And then you would change the image and reference the new one here. Is typically how I would do this. So I think they even mentioned that in the docs. God, I think I was using like cool text. What was I using in the 90s for this crap? I think cool text. You guys ever use cool text? Cooltext.com. Is it still a thing? Oh my God. It is still a thing. All right. Age of Titus. Wow. There we go. Beautiful. We went burning. Oh my gosh. How 90s do we want to go? All right, let's just create that. I remember this used to take like minutes. I bet it's just instantaneous now. All right, maybe not. Age of Titus. Okay. Create logo. There it is. Download. Nice. And there's our Age of Titus. So let's go Age of Titus. Keep our 90s theme alive. Oh boy. So from here, let's go static images. Oops. I think I have that in my clipboard, don't I? Oh, come on. Where's my downloads? There it is. There you be. So let's reference this image. So static images, paste it here. We have ageoftitus.gif. And now we need to reference it. I hate that you guys are making me do this. I just, the thing I hate most about this is I know it kind of makes Hugo look bad because this is unnecessarily complex compared to what normal themes are like. Most normal themes are so easy to configure, much easier than this one. But we will continue. I promised. So under partial, this should be in the header, and you can see the reference to header image here. Now we can change it here, or we could add the partials over into layouts and then add partials over here. So doing it directly in the theme is one way of doing it, but also like over here would be the proper way. So you'd come into here and you go, hey, this should be actually not a file. This should be a folder. We should call this partials, like so. And then under partials, we're going to create the header.html, new file, header.html. And what we're doing here is we're going to copy this over to here. And then instead of using Cyberscape, we're going to use Age of Titus. Save that out. Now we're going to have to recompile because we did change this. Keep launching that in two different tabs. I shouldn't do that. And we're going to go Hugo server, rebuild, and finally localhost. Reload. Still loading Cyberscape, so maybe that's hard-coded in there. It's not reading my partials. Why? Why? Oh. No, I put it in the right directory. Oh, no, I didn't. There, now let's rebuild. ZA, thanks for the prime. Just like the 90s. All right, now let's reload. Did not find it. So why is that? Let's see. Let's try to reference it. Images, Age of Titus. .gif. Images, Age of Titus.gif is there. So what's up with that? Let's try to do a different reference on our code. So looking back at the code, you can see images, Age of Titus.gif. Did I misspell it? No. That's fine. Did this specify a specific length? Could have. Does the frame have a reference to headers? Yeah, so like whenever we change this, it should be fine. Because you have the background URL as this. Usually these GIFs would be very small and wouldn't be here. So let's say we don't like this. We're just like, you know what? Screw it. This is stupid. I don't want to do this whole figure thing. Just give me straight raw HTML. This is the 90s after all. Bam. Just toss the image in there. Fill it. Let's go. We're going to emulate it. Might as well emulate it. So now you have that. So that wiped all that out, but you can see it's off kilter now. And it's all the way over here because we didn't do any formatting or anything to kind of match the theming of what's going on. And it was doing a scroll effect because of the class that was being designed there, which we wiped out. So that's what that whole feature was. So it does work. That reference is valid, but just for whatever reason, this figure and some of the class design here is not working. You can look into the CSS file. I mean, this is kind of actually a good project because if you're a web developer going into Hugo, you can kind of see how these themes are built and how granular you can get with actually stripping things out and changing. So let's save this out. And that, yeah, it just doesn't display it properly. So why? Why, oh why? Something with this class design. Let's look at the CSS probably. What is it? Go back directories. What does your lawyer office use for their website? Custom design or something lame like Squarespace? It's a custom design. They went through a firm, like a design firm. Why are you involved? Were you involved? Yeah, I was involved in pretty much all the IT for any business I've touched. Usually they would at least run it by me and go, hey, is this a smart idea or not? I might not be involved in like the nuts and bolts of it, but you know, they came back. I think at one time I wasn't involved and they kind of went and just said they knew a guy or something. And then they did a website and they're like, hey, we got a new website. And it ended up being like this proprietary Adobe piece of crap website. Oh my gosh. I remember looking at it. I was like, really, guys? Just so you know, this is the skinny here. This guy's fleecing you down every month for this proprietary thing, and it can just completely go out. And it's kind of funny because he hosted it with Adobe at that time, and it was a product. God, I can't remember. At one time, Adobe actually hosted websites. That's how bad this was. It would have been probably 10 years ago, and yeah, I think he's charging like $100 a month or something crazy for this special design. I was like, all right, well, not my money. Does their website look at? No, it looks nice. I didn't design it, so it looks nice. As we see, I don't have the best taste. I usually can toss things up, but past the infrastructure side of things, I am usually not your go-to guy when it comes to, does this look pretty? No, that is not where I shine. It's because layouts partials, the original images and themes, Cyberscape. No, that's not right, because we could just do the full GIF and it's fine. As we saw, we can reference it. How Hugo works, Adam, is it will reference this. So these always take precedent. So that's what I was just showcasing is, yes, you can change stuff in the themes, but let's say, obviously with this theme, it doesn't really matter. So bare bones, you could pretty much just strip it out and just put hard code all this stuff in. But let's say you download a really good theme and it's a submodule. What happens is that submodule will see updates. That developer of that Hugo theme will update it, and then you can just do a poll of that theme and it'll grab it all in. However, if you start changing things in the theme Cyberscape one, and let's say it was an active developer, as soon as you go pull his changes, it would wipe out everything you did. So that's why I'm doing it this way. You can see doing the layout partials header, this replaces his header file. So if he does an update on the header file.html, I would need to look at what he did and then mirror that with my header file. And then for the static image that I'm referencing, in the static folder, I put images, age of Titus. And we can directly reference that by just going to the root of the website and then going age of Titus. So that pulls from the static images folder into age of Titus. So yeah. And that's kind of how this Hugo website works. But this CSS effect is what's going on. I kind of want to just push this though, just to kind of show it online too. So I don't think I've actually seen it build. Let's go lazy G initial publish. Because I kind of want to just get this pushed out there and remove and kind of just get it to where when we go to ageoftitus.com, it'll pull in that website. Because right now it's not pulling anything in. So I kind of want to pull up Cloudflare real fast and see that as well. Because it should be on there in building the website. So I'm going to check real fast. I just did want to expose my Cloudflare account. So give me a second and we will take a look at our workers pages, age of Titus, and okay. if we look, it is actually publishing here. You can see all the different changes. The cool thing about this too with Cloudflare pages, sorry for the flashbang, you can see this is currently where it's getting developed and pushed to, but you can see, you can actually go back in time too. So let's say you do a bad commit, you can go back and reverse in time. And you probably even Nelio's. Did we ever do Nelio on here? I don't think we did actually. Yeah, that was a bad commit. And yeah, that's just the same old commit. But that's kind of a way to do it. Now, I think we can just set up a custom domain here. 1 second. And just go ageoftitus.com. Continue. And then, oh, I got to add this DNS record. We're going to activate the domain. And I want to say, we'll see where that goes. But this is essentially how it will work. And then when you refresh, it would actually be that Cloudflare pages. But it needs to complete this DNS setup, which, again, I got to... I hate to block some of this, but yeah, no. Let's see. I gotta just change manage Cloudflare DNS, and now it looks like it's proxied. Everything's fine here. So this is kind of what it looks like on the front end. The www is, oh, okay, well, that's where it went wrong. This should actually go to ageoftitus.pages.dev. Sure. Something like that. It's just a erroneous DNS entry that was just kind of hanging out. So now if you're in here, we do a refresh. Yeah, still not working. Great. All right, 1 second. Cloud flared up again. Let's go into our worker pages. Age of Titus, and then I need to go view details. Might take it a little bit to update, but I wanted to see. We could add the redirects underscore to fix as well. Headers. Oh, is it live? It's working for you now. It might take a little bit because of how Cloudflare DNS works. Let's reload again. Let me try without the www. Sometimes that makes a difference too. Yes, that is working. Okay. It works. Yeah. I think the big thing here, let me, I'm about to take off my, so I don't dox myself, but I did want to look at the DNS deployment real fast. Domains, manage domains. I didn't also want to expose all my domains here. The little things in life, right? Nope. And let's go back into the main account. You know, Cloudflare could do a better job on on a lot of their domains. Okay. Where's my DNS? DNS records. Let's not proxy that. Actually, I think we're going to just delete this one record. All right. And all right, let's show you. So the final look of this is just a direct page, Cloudflare pages here. If you look at ageoftitus.com, The only thing I'm working on where I'm like, well, that's not working quite right. If you go www.ageoftitus.com, it's not doing the redirect to the non-HTTP without, it's not stripping out that. Now, probably the easiest way that I can think of is just do a page rule that auto redirects and strips out the www. So you could even add a CNAME record here and then forward that, but I wouldn't do it here. I probably would just do a page rule, which, one second. I can show that real fast. Here we go. So under pages, under templates, you can redirect. So you can create a rule here. We're going to just redirect HTTP to HTTPS. That's good, but yeah, that's fine. We'll deploy that. And then probably another rule I would do is strip out the www on any incoming one too. So I'd do a create redirect www to root. Bam. Get that. It strips it out. Deploy that. With those two things deployed, you will always be secure. You're always stripping out the www. And I think those are pretty instantaneous. So Age of Titus is deployed right here. But then if we go www, Age of Titus, it automatically strips out that www. So there's just a basic Cloudflare configuration for security. And then also you always kind of want to remove www anymore. Does anybody use www? I feel like rules is probably the best way to do this. And I like deploying Cloudflare pages to the root. So, yeah. Yeah. And if you don't like this, you could also change the Cloudflare configuration to use www. And you might be thinking, Titus, when would you do that? Probably if you are already entered into like google.com and all your links from google.com are www.ageoftitus/strategy dot whatever, you know, that strategy page has a huge Google presence. You never want to do a redirect because that's going to decrease your Google ranking and it might not get recommended. So let's say you're transplanting from a WordPress site to a good website, like a static site like this. Obviously it should look better unless you're going for the 90s theme, and move that. So and you could do www instead of just the plain root. You did have that option. And then what I would do is probably redirect from the root to www, just in case someone just types like ageoftitus.com instead of the www. It would go ahead and add that for them. How much did you pay for ageoftitus.com? Just curious. $10. Some resume sites require www to exist to be a valid link when putting links for your profile. Really? That's kind of wild. Well, like I said, we could flip-flop that around, and this is obviously a brand new site we're setting up. I was just talking more for established domains. Like christitus.com is pretty established, where if you're in google.com, just to kind of illustrate the point where Hugo static sites can really be very impactful. And where WordPress sites, let's say you're a WordPress guy and you're like, okay, Titus, you've lost me. You talk crap for 2 hours about WordPress, but I'm SEO optimized. And I was like, okay. If you type debloat Windows 11, what pulls up? Am I even in the top pages? I am not. Now, I could type Chris Titus, but that's kind of cheating. What about just debloat Windows? Oh, man, they're kicking me out of the top. Oh, no, there I am. christitus.com, debloat Windows 10, 2020. So there's one hit. I mean, that's a pretty general rule, but man. All right. So I probably should make a page. Like, let's say I was really obsessed with SEO. I haven't made like a web page specifically over debloating Windows 11, even though that's what my tool really is built around, where it started as Windows 10. So when I wrote a lot of my articles for like debloating Windows, they were all written with Windows 10 in mind. And I believe on this search result right here, yeah, I should add like a tag for Windows 11. That would be one thing to do. So when I'm building out or talking over here, let's just switch over to my website. But let's say we pull up that Windows, what is that? Debloat Windows 10 2020. Oh gosh, yeah. So debloat Windows 10 is the tag up here. Let's just look at the metadata on this page just to see what we did right or did wrong. Windows 10. Let's go debloat Windows 10 2020. So we have Windows, we have Microsoft Store, probably some tags that should be added here just for search engine optimization. Windows 10, Windows 11. Those would be good things to add to this. That would increase its rating. Back in the day, under the Windows tool, this is all designed with Windows 10. And you can even see like the URL. I always like good URLs. A lot of times with WordPress, I know sometimes it defaults to this wacky scheme right out of the gate, made by a madman. Definitely more SEO optimized ones. Windows 10 2020, that's pretty solid. But this would be a good SEO update. So this would help Google index this with the Windows 11 tag. So then it maybe in the future, if you go debloat Windows 11, this page might show up. Just to kind of showcase that aspect of things. Is exe files working okay? I mean, what? No worries, Microsoft will keep necessary debloat later versions of Windows. I don't know. They can't really lock that down. A lot of the stuff I do is all from a business perspective. Like all these things are what normal sysadmins would do. To change the logo, you'd have to change the URL in style.css. Oh, thanks, Titus. So looking back on like Age of Titus, style.css. Actually, I think we already have this still pulled up over here. If we go into themes, I think style.css usually is an asset, style.css. And Titus said that's at 637. 637. You can see, so you have the background URL and then you have the URL here. Interesting. So if you go Age of Titus, and then you also said at 38. Yeah. So this should technically work. Oops. I forget. I'm not in Vim. And then the header file, that's fine. Let's pull up localhost. We haven't launched that. And boom. Okay. Yeah, good find, Titus. Terrible class name. Yeah. So this is an example of like thrown together Hugo theme. That's why I like didn't want to use this theme, even though I kind of like love this old school like 90s feel of it. It's pretty hilarious. And to show the deployment of it, now we kind of have everything set up. We've hacked around. I know this doesn't look good, but you can do all these things. I wanted to show kind of like the aspects of Hugo and Hugo themes so people can hack together whatever they want. They can go from being a developer in WordPress that's gonna die to something that is actually useful and is extremely powerful and fast. Let's go ls lazy G, and we're gonna go submit banner fix. I should have just put banner fix. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, so we actually modified the themes. So we gotta go to themes cyber. Since it's like this, and this is a submodule, and we directly edited the style.css theme, it's not gonna work. but that's okay. So instead of doing that at 3.7, where are you at? Age of Titus, right here, 640, style CSS. So what we're going to do is actually just change this guy. Is this a sub? Man, this is such a crappy design for a style CSS page. Yeah. Oof. Okay, whatever. Let's go assets, and we're going to create that same file, style. Actually, let's, yeah, I think we don't necessarily want to name it the exact same thing. Maybe we do, just to completely overwrite it. You could also do like a supplemental file, like if you go style 2, I think would be fine. And then you'd have to call that. Yeah, then you call that from like a header file or something like that to get around it if you didn't want to overwrite the existing style CSS file. Yeah. So probably the best way to do it is just to completely overwrite this with a new style. Something like this. And then let's just undo that. And we're just going to revert that. Close it. Close it. Save that. And then we should be able to Hugo server. Let's just refresh and make sure that override it. Okay, still kept it. And now we should be able to do the commit, fix, header. And that'll override the existing style.css. Sometimes you don't want to overwrite the whole file and you just want to add like a supplemental break fix. For something as big as style.css, if you're still like relying on a submodule and it's going to be updated by that developer, you probably don't want to do a fix like this. You'd want to do more of a supplemental CSS that would change, or maybe you change the class of that header to reference your own new class and then move on from there. Tomorrow, the Titus Squarespace ads start. Oh, God. I hate Squarespace. I mean, it's not like a bad service. It's just overpriced and you don't get much. And there's just tons of upsells. So if you don't know anything, it's a fine place to start. But that's the farthest endorsement I can give of it. Past that, is it a good, reliable thing for your business for years in the future? I mean, it's not going to go down. You're just going to get gouged. Where you could do something for free that's going to work better. It's going to be faster. And why wouldn't you do that? I mean, just take some time to learn and then you already save yourself. I think the base plan's like $50 a month. You're talking $600 a year. So if you spend, heck, if you just take what I've done on this 2.5 hour live stream, kind of implement it in and build your own theme out, you'll have so much more control to make any kind of website that you want. You can do anything with no limits. The downside is there is a lot more technical ability that is required to do this for free. But it will work better. It will be faster. You will rank higher. It'll just be generally the way to go, in my opinion. All Squarespace sites look the same. Yeah, probably. None of them look like this, I'll tell you that. So, if we go to Age of Titus, do we have... So this is the old one. Now we're waiting for that build to happen. So this build happens in the background, and I think if we do a Control F5, it's still waiting for that. Sometimes it takes up to 5 to 10 minutes before it's reflected through the cloud space or Cloudflare. As again, under the free plan, we get 500 builds. Today, for this 2-hour development stuff, we've probably used about 5 of those 500 builds. You'd probably only need to use 1 because you do it all local and then go, okay, this is about what I want, submit it, and then go from there. This looks like GeoCities. That's exactly what we were going for. We were looking for a a 90s look apparently. And the chat was like, you gotta pick Cyberscape. And I was like, fine. So I'm waiting for the refresh here. It's submitted. Oh, come on. All right, 1 second. Let's check Cloudflare again. Figure out what happened. Don't make me log in again. Come on, Cloudflare. I mean, it's good for security, but... all right, let's go back. Workers, pages, Age of Titus. I'm going to hide this sidebar. Okay. So you can see we rebuilt it 3 minutes ago. We have ageoftitus.com. And if we open that, it hasn't been reflected here. Let's check the dev pages and see if that is up to date. So this side just doesn't look like it has made it to the CDN. So it could be the CDN we're pulling ageoftitus.com from, and it'll take a little bit for these files to get updated and pushed out. I mean, to be expected though. Can you explain why you dislike Squarespace? It's just the price. Squarespace is fine. It's just a little bit limiting is all. Like if you want a canned website and you need to set it up in 30 minutes, that's fine. Like it's going to be reliable. It's going to put you in there. It's going to look like most other websites, but it'll work. So, I mean, Squarespace is fine for all of that. And they do make it very easy for someone that doesn't have any knowledge of websites to deploy a website. And that's fine. But do you pay way too much? Yeah. Are you going to rank very high in Google? No, because most of the pages and stuff is just not optimized well for that. And you're not going to be very unique. And you kind of, if you're a business, you want to stand out. You kind of want the fastest site. You want to be ranking high. You want to be doing all these things. And I think really the thing you have to do is build your own website. I really just will die on that hill. Like I think back from the 90s and honestly, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, I switched my website from, I think it was like self-hosted through WordPress like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. It was awful. And I just had it there for like a repository of issues. And then once I switched over to, I didn't actually use Cloudflare starting out. I used Netlify starting out until I just started getting so much traffic that I was like, I can't do anything with this. And because of that, I switched over and man, my traffic's just skyrocketed, you know. I get about, a couple million viewers, visits per month, and over a terabyte of data flowing through my servers. And it's all handled by Cloudflare these days. Works well. And I don't ever have any downtime. Most people are like, okay, yeah. I mean, it could look better. I definitely am due for a website revamp, but it's great. Check development mode in Cloudflare settings to get it updated. I'm sure. Honestly, just wait. It's fine. Like this will pop up with this guy really soon. I like again. We already saw the dev page. If you know how CDNs work, you just know that when it caches something, it just holds onto that cache for anywhere between. It depends on your rules, but usually 4 to 12 hours or something like that. And you could purge your cache in Cloudflare. Like let's say you have a groundbreaking thing, you have a ton of visitors to this site. This is just an example site, so I don't really care. But if let's say it was christitus.com and this whole header was like blanked out or something, yeah, I would immediately go into Cloudflare and just purge cache, and that would repair or force all the CDNs to re-download from the GitHub. So what happens and why this is so superior to compared to most like WordPress sites, you could still deploy a WordPress site through a CDN. It's just very hard to do because of the dynamic elements, the database. There's all this stuff associated with a WordPress site that just makes it cumbersome and awful, where a static site can just be pushed out through a CDN very easily. And, you don't have some central database that has to be referenced ever. And that's why it's so much better. Cloudflare docs say 3 hours. Yeah. We can purge cache to prove that. I hate doing the anti-docs, re-logging in. I mean, I have all the stuff set up in Cloudflare, just two-factor and all that. It's just kind of a pain in the butt to do. So I'm going to go ahead and purge the where do you got cache? But I like have API keys, stuff exposed here to where I'm like, okay, I don't want to. Okay, we got configure caching. Let me hide this. All right, nothing on the screen's bad. Let me show this. So under caching in Cloudflare, you can go purge everything. And this is going to purge all the CDNs of all your assets and static sites. This forces it to re-download. It says give it up to 30 seconds. So once we wait 30 seconds, we hit Age of Titus. It should then pull in with the banner. So ageoftitus.com. And I'm a liar. Come on. Come on. Hey, there we go. And then you have it re-download and you now have the fixed banner. Most websites will have a databases. Noobs aren't sticky due to static. So yeah, LoJack, I think the big thing here is, while I love Hugo type thing, is you can have a very collaborative environment where, you know, I think the big selling point to WordPress, I honestly, the only thing, WordPress, Squarespace, whatever you want to use, you know, those are really easy interfaces for complete noobs that don't understand tech at all. But let's say I wanted like you or many people from chat that are very technically adept and maybe web developers. Let's say we had a team of web developers working on Age of Titus. What that looks like is it's an even better experience than anything WordPress or Squarespace has to offer. Because at the end of the day, it's all done through GitHub. This right here is what's getting submitted. So let's say I'm making something for strategies and someone else is working on like a new JavaScript something on the side or whatever it might be, some new whiz-bang feature for the website. We're not going to trip over each other at all. You're going to be able to work on your stuff. You're going to be able to directly submit it through Git. I'm going to be able to directly submit my things from Git. Let's say there's a new content manager or somebody just sitting there putting stuff into the website. No problem. It's all Git. Hundreds of people could be working on this website all at the same time with zero impact, and they can do it all locally. They can all submit it at their leisure, and it's just so powerful. But it does rely on a level of competence, and that is severely lacking in the web sector, especially web page development. When I started the stream, I said, you know what? A lot of web page developers out there will have their job replaced by AI. And really what I'm talking about is the people relying on like WordPress and a lot of those jank plugins and stuff. Yeah, that's going to be done better by AI for sure. And it's going to be so much easier, so much just, ugh. The whole web page development scene is just rough. But there's a better way. And that's kind of what I wanted to show today, because I saw all the WordPress drama over the past week, and I'm just like, why are people using this? It's so awful. Static sites are cool and all until you enter until you want to alter the design of your website. I mean, I've altered my design considerably. I don't know what you mean there, OBB. It's even easier than what's done on WordPress. You know? Ads in Cyberscape would be a cardinal sin. Yeah. So yeah, this is the whole thing. So there you go. Age of Titus is pretty much done, deployed, created everything. We still didn't fix strategies, but that's okay. We could actually fix that. So instead of changing like a core aspect of the website, we could actually just go, oh, what is that? Content, strategies. We have silver referenced here, but we don't have like an index dot markdown. I want to say we could probably reference this somehow. Let's see. I'm not sure how this was developed from Cyberscape, but we could do like a Hugo new strategies and index.markdown. And then we'd probably want to do some kind of reference of it. So let's vim that. Index markdown. Let's see. I'm kind of curious. Let's go strategies, and then let's just do a hard link to probably easiest way to link just be straight up call it noob strat silver strat strategy, and then it would just be strategy silver. Let's see what this local serve looks like. I don't think that'll work, but you never know. So close. Yeah, no, the index.html is not, so it's not reading that, which is interesting. So how in the world is that? Oh, there it goes. So then you got that, and then you got silver strategies. Oh man, we are back in the 90s, going to town. So that did work. That is just so ridiculous. Oh gosh, God bless it. So let's say I don't quite like how that looks though. Like this is a little redundant having strategies here. I kind of would like it to be, let's just do like a markdown. Something like that. Yeah. Now, let's refresh. So now it'd just be silver strategy like that. Bam. Everything else, bam. Back to home. Just a ton of stuff you can do here. So just kind of changing things, styling, just general messing around kind of. I'm trying to think what else there is. Is there any other reference that we didn't cover that I'm thinking that like WordPress would do? Because like if you're looking for a shop, I would just go directly with a Shopify integration. And what I did with kind of showcase that out, if you go to christitus.com, downloads, this is kind of what I did for the Shopify integration with Windows Utility. So if you want to donate for an executable wrapper on Windows Utility, that's right there. And you just click buy now, and it would just immediately pop open the Shopify experience, which is just so much better than what WordPress offers. Neo Cities, is that a thing? Is there anything else I left out that might any WordPress people use that was like not covered today? What is this? Could they not even do a certbot and get secure? Site cannot be reached. Sad face. All right, well, anywho, I would probably do something like this. Cancel. Let's go lazy G. Submit. Strat index. Push this out. Usually takes about a minute or two for it to index and get pushed out to the live site. So when you go to Age of Titus strategies, right now it's that. But let's let it go. Let it build a little bit. WW Age of Titus does not work. Did I break it? It works. It redirects to the one without. It might take a little bit for those page rules to catch up to you. Yeah, you might have an index page too. Yeah, maybe Control F5 it on the page that was loading for you. Yeah, I dumped the www. But, I mean, it should automatically redirect. So even if you do www Age of Titus like that, it should just strip it out. But you can do it the other way. Like, let's say you want the www for whatever reason. I think someone said that there's a reason for, like, resumes or maybe existing Google links on SEO. You can flip-flop this and just say, don't use the root, use www. And then you would just redirect from the root. Try out www in a private window, see if it works. Okay. New incognito. So we have this. Let's come on. Nope. I can't remember. Was it? Yeah. All right, well, let's just push that over there then. What happened here? Oopsies. Huh. Whatever. Okay. Anywho, ageoftitus.com. Site could not be reached. DNS probe finished index domain. Huh. Did I wipe out one of my rules when I purged the cache, or what did I do there? Yeah. That's kind of weird, right? Could just do a CNAME, yeah. I'll leave it for now. I mean, what I did was before I started the stream, I bought the domain. Which here, we'll just go back to here and just do it normal. I bought ageoftitus.com at the start of the day. And then I went in the registrar, changed the name servers to Cloudflare. Well, from Cloudflare, we created the Cloudflare pages. And then our Git repository, after initiating, we connected to the Git repository. So then anytime we develop or make a change to this website, it would just automatically pull in. So like strategies now, you can see Silver Strategies. But that's not working. What's up with that? Well, 1 second. Ooh, oh, well, now it should still, well, let's look. Oh, yeah. Probably HTML. Let's see for sure. If we need to reference this, we could easily come in here, go to GitHub, and see exactly what it builds. So we go to Age of Titus, public. Now this does not get synced with GitHub. It's part of the git ignore file. So this is exactly what gets built. So you see the JSON files, the HTML files, the CSS file, all that stuff. This is what it looks like and what is getting hosted. So under strategies, you got index, you got silver, and then under silver, you have index. So really what this should look like is that. if I just missed the /. So if we look at that, before we submit this change, let's just double check in our local browser. So this is the hosted version. Here is our local version, strategies, silver strategies, and then you have it. Because silver strategies is always going to reference with the / the index.html. As you know, HTML, man, old school. I love it. Super reliable, super static, just the best ever. So that would be the fix silver strat, and that would fix that link. So then it pushes out that fix. You do a refresh here in a minute or two, and it would be there. And yeah, we changed a bunch of stuff too. It brings me back to the 90s web pages. So that's the thing. Like when you look at a lot of the new technology out there, it's all built on what was already existing. They just put nice little wrappers on a lot of it. And that's fine. And like I said, Hugo, the cool thing about it is you can build it and make it look as nice or as ugly as you want. I kind of purposely made it kind of dated, retro feel to it because this had like some GeoCity vibe to it. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I want. And that's kind of where I just wanted to go with this. It just spoke to me at the time. And then the cool thing is you just have all the accessibility. You can change whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. There's no limitations. And it's frankly way more economical than all this other new age stuff that people get obsessed with. I don't understand it. What does always build villagers mean? It's an Age of Empires 4. It's like an RTS reference. Like any kind of RTS, you have to build your workers. Always be building them. Like you should never stop building them until you get like maybe late game and have like 100 and something, more than half your population, usually villagers. And I'm attempting to pick up RTS again. Yeah. I love that though. It's fun. I just do it for fun though. Mostly all my stuff's tech oriented. Yeah, I got somewhat decent platinum, I think, in Age of Empires 4, and then I picked it back up earlier this week. It's been fun. I forgot a point actually. Whoa. But it's fun. Yeah, I really enjoy it. But yeah, I wanted to make a stream today, just kind of going over this. Hope you all got some benefit from it, showing you alternatives from like WordPress or Squarespace or any of the other big things that you see all over the place. And instead, I think if you learn about static sites, and this is just Hugo, you can check out Jackal. There's we didn't even look at, what was it, Laravel or whatever people were mentioning earlier. There's just so much cool stuff out there, and it's all free and open source. And this Cloudflare's host is for free. The only cost for this right here was $10 for the domain name ageoftitus.com, which I thought was pretty funny. And I was like, that'll be a good one. I'll make ageoftitus.com. Yeah, I thought, hey, let's just do something fun today and just show something a little different. And I might even develop the website as I learn more about my RTS game. I might build out Age of Titus a little bit and do some fun stuff. But other than that, I kind of just love Hugo because of the speed I'm able to develop and build stuff, and I can keep notes on there, and then I can reference them myself, and then if someone else trips upon the website, they can also use it as a benefit too. So that's kind of what I thought from a website point of view. I think websites are great public sources where you can share notebooks and knowledge, and if you build them yourselves, they're not they're very cost efficient, much more cost efficient than paying someone like $5 a month or $50 a month like a lot of people do. What's your domain registrar? I'd recommend Cloudflare. What was the chat also recommending? There was another one too. Gosh, I've used Namecheap in the past. Pork Bun, that's the other one. Yeah, I've used Namecheap in the past, Pork Bun, and then Cloudflare. Honestly, you pick either three of them. I think you're solid. Those three are probably the top. All the other more traditional things in the space suck. Do not ever use those. Those that shall not be named. I think I named them earlier in the video. Hopefully they don't send me some kind of demand letter saying I defaced them or some crap. Oh, God. Sometimes I hate doing stuff live because eventually someone catches on to it and like, oh, you said that about my company. How dare you? Especially when they have a whole bunch of in-house counsel. They get very... Let's just say I've gotten a couple demand letters whenever I'm like, ugh. That's why no YouTubers ever talk bad about big companies, because they will silence you. And that's just the... Ugh. Don't get me started on that. We're shutting it down. It's all good. Use this instead. It's just a great solution. So, GG. Have a good one, y'all. And I'll see you guys next week. I'll probably be streaming a little bit on the side game channel, having fun. And I'll stream here Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Been really loving the 3 days setup and figuring out, okay, I'll do this in those 3 days. And it's just such a great schedule for streaming that I've just enjoyed it so much. And yeah, that's where we'll leave it for today. No worries. Yeah, spill the tea. Stories about crappy sponsors. I honestly haven't had any really bad sponsors. So, but I haven't had many sponsors. You know, hindsight's 20/20 on that. So, and I understand most YouTubers don't have day jobs. You know, YouTube is their thing. So I don't want to piss in another man's Cheerios. You know, so I don't look down on any YouTuber that takes sponsorships from anybody that was mentioned today. I think there is a time and place for all that stuff. I just wanted to give you my opinion on it. So, all right, y'all. Deuces.